10% of all the new cars sold in Iowa come from the Carl Auto Group. Our neighbors trust us to have the largest selection and the highest standards. To our current customers, thank you. And to our future customers, see for yourself why Carl drives Iowa.
Your dealer for life, it's the Carl way.
Keen Project Solutions, a modern engineering and construction firm, embracing technology, establishing industry-leading systems and processes, and delivering reliable results to our customers. At Keen, we are passionate about inspiring our team and our customers to achieve great things, offering the highest quality services in commercial construction to deliver turnkey projects. Our core beliefs drive us forward. Protect people, build relationships, drive innovation, and focus on end goals, bringing our customers' desired results to life. See how Keen can work for you at thinkthinkeen.com.
What is up? Welcome to Cyclone Fanatic pregame here in the Northwest Bank studio. This in-person, beautiful Northwest Bank studio. We got the beautiful Ames helmet behind us.
You like the McCarney helmet?
Oh yeah,
that's the McCarney helmet. We need to quit calling it Clonado. It's the McCarney helmet from now on.
That's a beautiful, beautiful helmet. Hopefully they have. We don't need to get into uniforms now.
No, God no. You guys, if you're under the age of 40, you can talk about uniforms. I can't do that.
Well, they just get. That's an off-season topic. We are in season, and there's a massive college football game out in Ohio this weekend between the Cyclones and the Bearcats.
Yeah, I wish I could go with all you guys. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be absolutely hopping. We'll get to that, but we couldn't do all of our game day programming, of course, without our awesome sponsors. So get yourself down to Fairway and buy yourself some Iowa pork. Okay, I prefer so you got two options, in my opinion, on a game day. If you need it to be quick, skinless brats.
Yep.
You do the whole thing. You put them on there frozen. You move them around. Nice and easy. Get yourself a nice. I'm not a big side guy. I only prefer to eat it if it had a mother. Nonetheless, our friends at Iowa Pork or I
Fairway
like to do.
Does have. They've got really good stuffed twice baked potatoes.
Those are good.
That's a side to go with.
Those are good. Those are good.
If you are a side person.
I just like the baby back ribs to smoke. I prefer them over the spare ribs because the St. Louis style, because they just don't take as long.
Yeah.
Right.
Yum.
You can do that, but I'm going to do skinless brats for my day on Saturday. That's the plan. So get yourself down to Fairway. How about that? Also want to thank our friends over at Carl Auto Group. Of course, they've been with us for a really long time. I love driving my Chevy Silverado around. It's funny because I've had a million vehicles. I genuinely love driving this truck. I absolutely love it. I love the interior. I love the whole stereo thing. It's perfect. Got it over at Carl Chevrolet in Ankeny. And of course, our friends over at Keen Project Solutions. Think different. ThinkKeen.com. That is spelled Keen. And they are currently growing. They're in Kansas City now. I know I've told you about that, but they are hiring engineers and project managers in Ankeny and Kansas City. So go to ThinkDifferent, All right, just a reminder to be here at halftime with Leah Nelson. Jake will probably hop in from Nippert Stadium and then post-game as well.
It's bold to assume that they've got Wi-Fi in this 102-year-old stadium. Well, most likely I'll be there.
They had it in Ireland. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
It's like one of the oldest countries.
They had Wi-Fi in Ireland, but the stupid adapters.
Oh, man. What a pain.
So my adapter was probably like that big. And they had their outlets. It was like in a latch. I couldn't get the adapter to fit. So someone generously donated their adapter. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to plug in anything.
A lot of media folks were having that problem over in Ireland.
But that's a long time ago. This Cincinnati
seems
game,
like an eternity ago.
Yeah, this Cincinnati game is more important now than the K-State game is because it's just where we are in the season. And Cincinnati, they're just 1-0 in Big 12 play, but they picked up a massive road win against Kansas. I was looking a little ahead at their schedule. It's pretty favorable. So I think what they're thinking over there is if we can pull off this marquee win, probably their biggest win since they got to the Big 12, then we're going to win our next 4 games and we're straight up Big 12 title contenders. And that's going to be a big challenge for Iowa State because Cincy is not the team they've been the last 2 years.
Watch Scott Satterfield's press conference, and you see a very confident coach.
Good.
Right? Yeah, you see a guy who is confident in his quarterback. Now, he was very forthright about their defense, which we'll get into here in this pregame. But, yeah, I mean, I think Sat has to be that way, right? Like, because there's a lot of people, you think of it this way. If you lose that game at Kansas, that they won, so you give them credit, but
2-2. They've beat a couple FCS teams.
Kind of feels like the same type of deal going down the pike. Man, if you win the game at Kansas, and now if you can beat a ranked team like Iowa State at home, they are thinking bigger things, and now you go from potentially being on the hot seat to potentially being in position to play for a Big 12 championship, potentially.
You hope that they're looking ahead because they see, I'll pull up the schedule, but they've got UCF next week, then they play Oklahoma State, Baylor at home. Like, I'd have a hard time if I were a Cincinnati fan right now, not necessarily looking past Iowa State, but thinking, oh my gosh, if we win this game, look at what's ahead of us. And you hope that there's just a hint of that in their locker room. When it comes to matchups, I think the obvious place to start would be trying to slow down Brendan Sorsby, especially when you lose 2 All-American caliber cornerbacks. Like, I think that's a legit question. How is Iowa State going to keep Cincinnati under what should be the number, 30, 35?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the number steam this week. It opened at about 51. The last I checked it, recording this on Wednesday afternoon, it was about 54.5, maybe up to 55.
I'd play the over.
I still would play the over in that game. It's a big question. I think that you've got to just, first of all, you have to be matter of fact that you have to do things differently now.
Yeah.
Without Jeremiah Cooper was going to be one thing, and that sucked. Without Jontez Williams, completely changes everything.
Yeah, you lose a field flipper.
Yes, and you've had that for a long time with TJ Tampa, with just Anthony Johnson. Like, you've had like one guy that you could rely on, and you don't now. So there's, you're going to have to help with the safeties more. Does that impact the run game? There's a lot of things to think about. What I'm very curious to see, Jake, is does this encourage John Haycock to have Caleb Bacon with his hand on the ground more, or does this discourage him? Like, are you going to be like, no, we need to drop more because we have to help the corners? I don't know. I could make an argument for each. Mm-hmm. I think I would make the argument it's imperative to make the quarterback uncomfortable now.
Yeah,
you can't just rely on one guy on one side of the field covering for 8 seconds like you've been able to do for the last 6 years. So I'm hopeful that they have an aggressive game plan, because I think even if you don't, you're probably going to give up a big play or two.
I would agree. I think you got to start that game kind of like you did against Arizona and get Sorsby off his spots. The problem is, compared to Fafita, Sorsby's an actual runner.
He's the leading rusher on Cincinnati's team.
Yes, I would consider Fafita a mobile guy who can evade pressure, who can get out of the pocket.
He's still a pass first.
Sorsby is 100% capable of scoring a touchdown at any point on the field. We saw it last year. He ran for 120 yards at Jack Trice Stadium. So he is a completely different challenge than anything Iowa State's really faced all year. Like, he plays how Avery Johnson should play, and for some reason they've gone away from him being a not run-first quarterback, because Sorsby's not that either. He's averaging 250 yards passing a game, but a guy who uses his legs as a weapon, and Avery has not done that for quite some time. Sorsby is that and a whole lot more, and it's terrifying. Your linebackers are going to have to be real ready for this game.
They have good wide receivers too.
Yeah,
they've a couple of guys,
all transfers.
Yeah, a couple of guys who Allen is the one who really stands out when you watch the tape. He's going to be a problem.
Yeah,
and then the other kid, his name escapes me.
Goody.
Yes, and he's kind of the game breaker, like super fast. He's going to be an issue as well. I would guess that that'll be who Quentin Taylor ends up on. And I don't know what you're going to see with the corners. Like, is Benny Nagoye ready? I know when they moved him, they saw him as like Darian Porter, who's now in the National Football League.
And it took Porter some time. He got there eventually. It wasn't.
I feel like Nagoye, if he does play, is probably going to be pretty rough for a while.
Yeah.
Despite where you think. It reminds me a little bit of like Bo Goodwin. Mm-hmm. I think Bo Goodwin potentially could be an NFL linebacker, but he's lost right now. Yeah. When you watch him, it's 34. When you watch him out there, as much physical talent, he's just like the game's still moving a little too fast. I fully anticipate in the next 6 games, at some point, it's going to click, and Bo Goodwin's going to make a really good play, and we're going to be like, wow.
Yep.
Right. So I think that if Nagoye's out there, we're going to see that.
And it's good as well that
the same with John Tez.
Sounds like David Coffey is going to play. And what I would say,
Coffey's probably more ready than Benny Nagoye, I would guess.
Yeah, I would trust him more in the backup role, because the way they were playing it, even with 2 All-American caliber players, was Trey Bell was rotating in, playing about 25, 30 snaps a game. And that was giving John Tez 15 snaps off. That was giving Cooper 15 snaps off. I would anticipate that we see the same thing, whether that's Nagoye, whether that's Coffey stepping in to play
I would agree.
a smaller role. That's to be determined. What I will say about the corners, it is a catastrophic. There's no way around that it is a catastrophic loss. I still think, with what I've seen from Trey Bell and a little bit of Quentin Taylor, they're probably still in a better spot than they were like 5 years ago.
Yeah, they've played way worse corners.
When you're throwing DeMonte Ruth in there,
Absolutely.
So that is that is the silver lining, that you're still probably ahead of where you've been before, but you are so far behind where you were with 2 of maybe the best 10 corners in the entire country.
That's the problem. You go from maybe having the best pair of corners in college football, potentially. I'm sure there's other schools that could argue that. But what we know John Tez is, and what we think Coop was turning into, definitely in the Big 12.
Yeah.
To now,
And
it's just a
that
total
sucks.
unknown. Like, I think Trey Bell's better than Miles Purchase was already. I haven't seen enough of Taylor. If Taylor can go out there and be Miles Purchase,
That's massive.
then it's not a catastrophic spot. But right now it is, because it also changes the way you have to do everything else. So again, like, what does Haycock draw up against this running type quarterback in Sorsby, who's playing with more confidence at any point in his career? I think this is going to be a shootout. Bloom, on our Wednesday podcast, made a really good point. He thinks, what's the best way to take care of the corners and the defense? It's to run the football and keep the offense off the field. I get it. I think that Chase Sowell is going to have 150 receiving yards.
I also don't think Iowa State's going to be able to run the ball great this game.
They have a good rush defense, but their pass defense is terrible.
Exactly. I think you've got to attack the weakness. So a little insight into Cincinnati. They were, I'm not going to call them defensive back U, but they've been one of the 10 best programs in the last 5 years at producing defensive backs. Like Sauce Gardner, he's maybe the best in the NFL. He went to Cincinnati. Last year, they replaced all 5 starters in the secondary. They had 3 guys transfer, 2 guys go to the NFL. They completely replaced all of them. And their defensive backs have been picked apart this year. The advantage that Iowa State has is Rocco Becht.
Well, have you seen the completion percentage stat? I gave it out on Wednesday morning. Listen to this, Jake Brand. This will blow your mind.
Let's see it.
Opposing quarterbacks are completing 75.7% of their passes against Cincinnati, ranks 135th out of 136 teams in college football.
Who's behind him?
I didn't look that up. That'd be a good question. But my point is that, like, that's
you take advantage.
And they played Northwestern State. They, one of those teams they beat 70-0.
That's insane.
It's a remarkable stat how you could possibly be that bad. But what it tells you. And it's funny, I went on Cincinnati message boards just to kind of like take temperature of the opposing teams. And they're losing their minds about how far off their corners play from wide receivers. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Tyson Veit, John Haycock. Like, it's the exact same thing we've seen and heard at Iowa State over the last 10 years. I just don't think they have the dogs, especially if Corleone's out.
Yeah, that's a big question. That's the problem with us doing this on Wednesday is we won't see the first report until
Who's
Wednesday
that?
at 9.
Kansas or UMass is worse?
UMass
is the worst. Is the number 136.
Can't make it up.
Thanks, Aiden. Appreciate that.
They've played the Iowa Hawkeyes. Surely they completed 90 to 95% of their passes.
I'm just saying, like, where does the advantage come with the Veit thing? Like, it's a real talk. The advantage is with the guy who, and I would say this if Tyson had better players, the advantage is with Taylor Mauser in that matchup.
100%.
Because he has a better lineup of guys on Iowa State's offense than what Tyson's working with right now, especially if Dante Corleone is out or a shell of himself. Dante Corleone is top 5 tackle. Yeah, absolutely.
If there's no Corleone, you will be able to run the ball a little bit. Not to the level of where I think you should just ground and pound the entire game. I don't want to see that at all. I want to see air raid. I think you're going to have to score. He's not paying me to say that. I think you're going to have to score 35 points to win this game.
Did you hear that I bought all the Leach air raid helmets that we're going to be able to put around the studio?
That's incredible.
Mini helmets.
Mini helmet. Okay. I was going to say that's going to be like, how are we going to get a fridge?
I can't afford the big ones.
Back to Rocco though. This is ESPN came out with their rankings, have him at 24 behind Sorsby, Daniels, Robertson, Hoover, behind Castellanos of Florida
Who
State.
at ESPN did this?
Bill something?
Bill Connolly?
Yeah, Bill Conley.
Okay.
So it was very statistics based, which I get, but I'm sorry, there's not 23 quarterbacks in college football better than Rocco. And the good news is he doesn't care. Campbell doesn't care. Mauser doesn't care.
This is why I'm picking Iowa State to win the game, though.
Everyone's so high on.
Yeah, it's one is Rocco back.
Yeah.
Two, I did have a few conversations with program people, and the whole like, oh, everybody's counting us out now because of the injuries is running rampant through that building.
Yeah, and not moving up in the AP poll despite
These
it
guys,
doesn't matter, but
Campbell
it matters.
is brilliant at turning them into a massive underdog. And they usually are, because this is Iowa State football we're talking about. But Matt is brilliant when it comes to getting the guys ready and rallying the troops. So, you know what, Jake? Like, every fiber of my being, knowledge-wise with college football, when specifically from a betting standpoint, when the top 15 team is on the road at an unranked team and an underdog, you always bet on the home team.
Yeah.
Blindly. You just do it. It doesn't matter what you think you know. You just do it. I'm picking Iowa State to win this game. I'm too confident. Like, it's confidence a scary word. It's not cockiness. I love the quarterback. I love the offensive coordinator. I think the offensive line is underrated in the minds of most fans.
Agreed.
And I think that Chase Sowell, him getting going last week, adds a dimension to the offense that we haven't seen. I still don't think we've seen it fully. And if he's doing that on the outside, you know what that's going to do? Going to open up the inside of the field for the tight ends.
Finally, because those guys have been harassed.
They've been the focal point.
Yeah.
Well, now you got a guy on the outside who can be a game breaker. Iowa State wins this game 35-31.
I'm close. I went 37-33.
Okay.
And
it's a bizarre score. You have a few missed PATs or
a couple field goals here and there. We do these picks every week.
It's hard.
And I'm like, I feel like I'm always doing 35-31.
I'm notorious for like 31-27.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm just going to do a 4-point win in the 30s somewhere, and we'll see if we're close enough.
It's really hard. And then you just have to know that you really don't know on a week-to-week thing. But man, like, a game like this is a total wild card. It's a total wild card.
To your point about Rocco and Chase Sowell, I think what we saw from Sowell on Saturday was so big for the vision going forward, but it's something that's not going to be picked up by the books, by the sports books.
Correct.
And I'm not putting the pressure on Chase as well to go be Jaden Higgins, but it's hard to not draw comparisons to where they just had that super quick breakout. And once they did it, the floodgates open, and now boom, you've got your wide receiver one. If that's the case,
saw it with Hutchinson.
If that's not a one-off, and you add a legit wide receiver one who would have a shot to be a top 5-round pick in the NFL draft, you pair that with what you've got with Gabe Burkle, Ben Bramer, Eskelson as a downfield threat, Townsend in the slot. It takes this offense to an entirely new level when you consider the level that Rocco Becht is playing at. He is playing, I said it, and I'm trying to take bias out of it. I think he is closer to the best quarterback in the country right now than he is the 10th best quarterback. And if he has all of those weapons, then it makes life a little bit easier on your defense when you lose 2 All-American caliber players.
Let's go. Bryn's got me all fired up. I wish I could go with you guys. You and Rob Gray going for Cycling Fanatic.
Yep. We're road tripping.
We got the beat reporters. Ben's going to be with you.
Yep, Ben will be with us.
Awesome.
It's a beat reporters road trip.
Alex
Bussey's joining.
I just call him Alec. Yeah, that'll be great. I hope you guys have a great time.
Hopefully
it's fun traveling to these new stadiums.
Hopefully we don't anchorman each other.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Getting a big media fight on the way or on the way back.
You got to watch out for that Rob Gray. He's a bit of a wild card.
No kidding.
We are presented, as always, by our friends at Channel Seed. You can join Leah, Nelson, and me at halftime. Jake will pop in if he can, if the internet is doable.
I'll be there.
Thanks to all of our
It's my promise.
Great pregame sponsors. Go and get yourself some Fairway meat for your home tailgate this weekend. If you're going to Cincinnati, please be safe. For Jake Brend, I'm Chris Williams. Later.